Have you ever found yourself setting a big goal, feeling motivated at first, but then watching that motivation fade away? You start strong, but somehow you find yourself giving up or procrastinating. Sound familiar? It's because motivation isn't enough. What you need is self-discipline. And today, we'll dive into exactly how to build unbreakable self-discipline that will help you reach your goals no matter the obstacles. We've all been there. You set a new goal, maybe it's getting in shape, starting a new project, or sticking to a routine. At first, you feel fired up, like you're ready to conquer the world. But then, life gets in the way. Distractions pop up. You lose focus. You let the momentum slip. Self-discipline is the ability to keep going even when that initial burst of motivation fades. Why do so many of us fail to stay consistent? It's because we often confuse motivation with discipline. Motivation is a feeling, but discipline is a choice. It's what keeps you on track when the excitement fades away and things get tough. Self-discipline is not about perfection or being strict with yourself every single moment. It's about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. It's the habit of following through on your commitments, whether or not you feel motivated. Self-discipline is what allows you to stick with your plans and keep going even when things don't go perfectly. Building unbreakable self-discipline will change everything. Instead of relying on motivation, you'll rely on habits and systems. Discipline will become your foundation, and once you build that foundation, the rest of your goals will become much easier to achieve. Let's get real. Motivation comes and goes. There are days when you wake up feeling like you can conquer the world, and other days when getting out of bed seems impossible. That's the problem with relying on motivation to reach your goals. It's inconsistent. One day you feel inspired, and the next, you just can't summon the energy. That's why self-discipline is so important. It doesn't rely on feeling good. It's about making the right choices even when you don't feel like it. For example, you could have the greatest workout plan in the world, but if you don't stick to it consistently, you won't see results. The same goes for your work goals, personal projects, or any other challenge you want to conquer. The secret is learning to rely on discipline, not just fleeting motivation. Here's where the mindset shift happens. Instead of focusing on the outcome, whether it's losing weight, hitting a milestone, or finishing a project, focus on the process. Discipline is built by showing up every day, doing the small things consistently, even when it feels hard. The more you practice these small, consistent actions, the stronger your discipline becomes. And when that discipline is strong, the results will naturally follow. Now that we understand why self-discipline is essential, let's talk about how to build it. In the next part, we'll break down the steps to building unbreakable self-discipline that will last. Step 1. Start small. The journey to unbreakable self-discipline starts with small steps. It may sound too simple, but starting small is key to success. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to overhaul their entire life in one go. They set huge goals, aiming to achieve them as quickly as possible, but when the challenge feels too big, they give up before they've even started. The truth is, success is built on small, consistent actions that gradually add up over time. If your goal is to become healthier, don't commit to a 2-hour workout every day from the start. Instead, start with 10 minutes a day, just a small, achievable goal. Whether it's stretching, walking, or doing a simple bodyweight workout, the key is to make it a consistent habit. Once that small habit is formed, you can increase the time or intensity. But remember, the goal here is consistency, not perfection. Let's say your goal is to read more books. Rather than setting a lofty target of reading an entire book every week, start by committing to reading just 10 pages a day. You'll find that once you start, you'll want to keep going. Small wins build your confidence and motivation to take on bigger challenges. It's important to celebrate those small wins. The feeling of accomplishment that comes with completing even the smallest task is powerful. It reinforces the habit and makes you more likely to continue. Starting small doesn't mean underachieving. It's about building momentum that will carry you toward bigger successes. Step 2. Build a consistent routine. Now that you've taken your first steps with small, manageable goals, it's time to establish a consistent routine. Routine is the backbone of self-discipline. If you want to build a solid foundation of self-discipline, you need a routine that works for you, one that integrates your small goals into your daily life. Start by designing a simple routine that aligns with your goals. For example, if your goal is to become more productive at work, set aside specific blocks of time each day to focus on your most important tasks. Use tools like time blocking, where you divide your day into chunks of time dedicated to specific tasks. You could set aside 1 hour in the morning to focus solely on a project without checking emails or social media. This gives you the time and space to make real progress without distractions. Consistency is critical here. Even if you're not feeling particularly motivated on some days, stick to your routine. Eventually, it will become second nature. A disciplined routine doesn't just happen overnight. It's built by consistently showing up for your goals, even when you don't feel like it. Here's an example. Let's say you want to improve your fitness. Set a consistent time each day, let's say 7 a.m., to work out for 20 minutes. The time is non-negotiable. The key is consistency, not perfection. Some days your workout might be intense, while others may be more about stretching. But the important thing is that you show up every single day. Over time, this consistency will help you build a routine that becomes almost automatic, freeing up your mind for more important decisions. Step 3. Use time blocks. One of the best ways to stay disciplined is by utilizing time blocks. Time blocking is a technique where you assign specific time periods to different tasks throughout the day. Instead of letting your day unfold randomly, you're actively designing it to serve your goals. This strategy has helped many people achieve their most ambitious goals by ensuring that they have dedicated, focused time for each task. For example, if you're working on a project, you could block off 2 hours in the morning to focus solely on that. During that time, turn off all distractions. No social media, no email checking, no interruptions. Use this time to give your full attention to the task at hand. By creating clear time blocks, you avoid the temptation to multitask, which can often lead to decreased productivity. Time blocking works because it helps you stay focused and eliminates distraction. You're not wasting time deciding what to do next because you already have a plan. Consistency is key here as well. The more you time block and follow through on your schedule, the easier it becomes to stay disciplined and make significant progress toward your goals. Step 4. Eliminate distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. From social media notifications to endless emails and phone calls, distractions can derail your focus and reduce your productivity. If you want to build unbreakable self-discipline, you need to create an environment that supports focus and minimizes distraction. This is one of the most important strategies to maintaining self-discipline. Let's start with your environment. Your physical workspace plays a huge role in how productive you are. If you're working from home, set up a dedicated workspace where you can focus without interruptions. Keep this space clean and free from distractions. Turn off your phone's notifications or put it in another room if possible. When you're working, stay focused on the task at hand and don't allow yourself to drift toward distraction. Next, let's talk about mental distraction. Our brains are constantly bombarded with thoughts, worries, and emotions that can make it hard to focus. This is where mindfulness comes in. One way to train your mind for better focus is by practicing mindfulness techniques like meditation, or simply taking a few minutes to focus on your breath before starting a task. This helps clear your mind and prepare it for the task at hand. Distractions also come from people around you. Set boundaries with friends, family, or coworkers. Let them know when you need uninterrupted time to focus on your goals. The more you create a focused environment, the easier it will be to stay on track. Step 5. Hold yourself accountable. Accountability is crucial for building self-discipline. When we don't have anyone checking in on our progress, it's easy to let things slip. That's why tracking your progress is one of the most effective ways to hold yourself accountable. Start by tracking your daily habits, whether it's through an app, a journal, or a simple calendar. Mark off each day that you follow through on your commitments. This simple act of tracking your progress helps reinforce your self-discipline. You can also set up regular check-ins with a friend, family member, or colleague who will hold you accountable. Another powerful accountability tool is public commitment. Tell someone about your goals and ask them to check in on your progress. When you share your intentions with others, you're more likely to follow through because you don't want to let them down. Step 6. Practice patience. Building self-discipline isn't something that happens overnight. It's a gradual process that requires patience. This is often the hardest part because we live in a world that demands instant results. We want to see change right away, but self-discipline isn't about achieving immediate success. It's about long-term consistency. The key here is to understand that small actions lead to big results over time. If you stick to your daily routine, even when it feels like nothing is changing, you'll start to notice progress. The important thing is to keep going. Whether you see immediate results or not, you are still building your discipline with every action you take. Patience also involves being kind to yourself when setbacks happen. No one is perfect, and you're going to have days when things don't go as planned. But rather than beating yourself up, use those moments as learning opportunities. Reflect on what didn't work and make adjustments, but don't give up on your goals. Step 7. Create boundaries. Self-discipline isn't just about managing yourself. It's also about setting boundaries with others. People will always want your time and attention, and being too available can lead to people disrespecting your time. This is especially true if you have goals that require focus. When you're constantly available to everyone else, you're not giving yourself the time you need to be disciplined. Start by setting clear boundaries in your life. Let people know when you're busy working on your goals and need time to focus. It's okay to say no to plans or requests that don't align with your priorities. Respect your own time the same way you'd respect someone else's. The more you enforce these boundaries, the easier it will be to stay disciplined and focused on your goals. Remember, You're not obligated to be available to everyone all the time. Prioritize what truly matters and don't let others pull you away from your goals. Building self-discipline requires protecting your time and not allowing distractions or obligations to derail you. Step 8. Learn to say no. One of the most important skills you'll need to develop self-discipline is the ability to say no. We often say yes to too many things because we don't want to disappoint others or because we feel guilty. But saying yes to everything means saying no to your own goals, your own time, and your own priorities. Learning to say no isn't about being rude or selfish. It's about being assertive and protecting your own time. When you say no to something, you're saying yes to your future success. Whether it's saying no to a social invitation or declining a task that isn't aligned with your goals, saying no allows you to stay focused on what really matters. Here's the trick. You don't need to explain yourself every time you say no. A simple, polite no is enough. Over time, people will respect your boundaries and your time, and you'll develop the self-discipline to keep saying no when necessary. Step 9. Keep your environment positive. The environment around you has a huge impact on your ability to stay disciplined. If you're constantly surrounded by distractions or negative influences, it's going to be much harder to stay focused. That's why it's crucial to create an environment that supports your goals. Start by organizing your space. If you're working from home, designate a specific area for work where you can focus. Keep this space clean and free of distractions. Similarly, if you're trying to eat healthier, make sure your kitchen is stocked with healthy options so you're not tempted to snack on junk food. It's also important to surround yourself with people who support your goals. Spend time with individuals who are disciplined and motivated themselves. Their positive energy will rub off on you and help you stay focused on your own self-discipline. Now, it's time for you to put everything into practice. The steps I've shared today will help you develop unbreakable self-discipline, but only if you commit to them. Start small, build consistency, eliminate distractions, create boundaries, and practice patience. Remember, this journey isn't about being perfect. It's about taking consistent steps, even when it's difficult. The more you practice self-discipline, the easier it will become. And soon, you'll notice the results you've been working toward. So, which step will you take today? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about your journey toward building unbreakable self-discipline. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tips on how to unlock your full potential.